Hello everyone, and welcome to our Extreme Healthy Lifestyles product review. We're going to start off by introducing you to an amazing product called TriMatrix MD, where your DNA is not your destiny. As you discover TriMatrix MD, you're going to learn that your number one defense against anti-aging is just that. It supports and reduces cellular damage to the body. It downregulates fat storage triggers. It supports natural fat-burning processes, helps the body battle obesity and weight gain. It's a defense against free radical damage, supports recovery time. It has a refreshing raspberry flavor and is low glycemic, and it gives you energy, performance, and endurance. TriMatrix MD has 3 levels of efficacy. It's manufactured under the Good Manufacturing Practice Regulations for dietary supplements. It is also manufactured in an NSF certified facility for the past 30 plus years, and all ingredients are screened and pre-approved by the Food and Drug Administration in an FDA compliant facility. TriMatrix MD has a United States patent awarded in 2003. It's patented for sports performance carbs and also for niacin-bound chromium. TriMatrix MD is your number one defense against aging. It's pharmaceutical grade L-arginine. It's a thermodynamic formula, the only certified low-glycemic L-arginine backed by 30 years of research. It has L-arginine generated nitric oxide, NGH. It meets all the anti-doping and Olympic guidelines, and it is a delicious raspberry fusion flavor. Because of the proprietary ingredients in TriMatrix MD, Extreme Healthy Lifestyles TriMatrix MD is considered to be an age management tool, or a mechanism in age management. It helps reduce cellular damage to the body. By lowering insulin and blood glucose levels, it reduces damage to the cellular protein. And the best thing is that the claim can be made that TriMatrix MD will help to downregulate the LPL adipose tissue fat storage trigger in the fat cells. So now we're going to talk a little science. Why is the LPL an enemy in age management? Well, it starts with the lipoprotein lipase, or LPLs, that control the fatty acid entry into your adipose tissue, or your fat cells. As we age, we gain weight as our metabolism slows down and the adipose tissue fat cells increase in size and number. Now, downregulating the LPL helps to block the process of driving excess calories, or fatty acids, into the adipose tissue fat cells. Excess size and the number of fat cells lead to obesity and type 2 diabetes. Now, as I had mentioned earlier, TriMatrix MD has 3 levels of efficacy and is a mechanism of efficacy. So how do antioxidants slow down our biological age? Oxygen-free radicals cause oxidative damage, which accelerates the aging process, including damaging human DNA. Normally, daily activities produce a physiological reaction that causes oxidative damage to the human body. A major preventative action is the intervention of antioxidants taken orally, which include vitamin C, vitamin E, bioflavonoids, selenium, and L-arginine-driven nitric oxide. TriMatrix MD is an official certified Switch the Brain, Switch the Game supplement, which is also approved by the International Baseball Association for usage for athletes. It is laboratory certified as a low glycemic and sports approved ingredient. The product description brings forth an instant vitamin mineral amino acid drink mix. It's patented as an antioxidant vegetarian formula. It's also patented as a low glycemic sports performance carb, backed by board-approved human in vivo clinical trials. Its functionality includes age management and sports performance. It has 30 years of blood glucose balance research and trials. TriMatrix MD is a dietary supplement formulated with a patented form of L-arginine that helps the body create more life-supporting nitric oxide. It has the first U.S. patent received for increasing muscle mass and decreasing body fat in athletes, the ultimate healthy shape-up tool. Its scientific research was presented at the United Nations General Assembly in New York. As we discover more about TriMatrix MD, Extreme Healthy Lifestyles brings us a whole other category dealing with sports performance. So let's talk about athletes and TriMatrix MD. TriMatrix MD is certified sports approved for clean sports and meets all the World Anti-Doping Agency guidelines, all United States and International Olympic Committee guidelines, and is produced in a strict NSF facility. The TriMatrix MD formula and clinical and scientific research was presented at the Arnold Schwarzenegger Classic to 65,000 people and the Tokyo Convention Center to 85,000 people, used by Mr. Universe, Miss Galaxy, world-class athletes, and the World Powerlifting Federation. You may have heard some stories about how the increase of nitric oxide in your body and combined with exercise can help you to burn fat. Well, that is a reference that is similar to what we're going to talk about here, which is lipolysis via nitric oxide. Okay, so we're going to break this down into two categories. We have the adipose tissue and lipolysis. The adipose tissue, or your fat cells, is a major regulator of the body's lipid or fat energy supply because it controls the release of free fatty acids into your plasma where they circulate. Lipolysis is a catabolic process, leads to the breakdown of triglycerides stored in the fat cells and the release of free fatty acids and glycerol. Triggering lipolysis as we age, combined with controlling blood glucose and insulin levels, are essential in preventing metabolic syndrome, type 2 diabetes, weight gain, and obesity. Avoiding high glycemic diets, foods, and beverages is the key to preventing dietary blood glucose and insulin elevations. Now that is in a normal and overweight person, not in type 1 diabetics, but it is key in healthy age management. You may have heard some stories about how the increase of nitric oxide in your body and combined with exercise can help you to burn fat. Well, that is a reference that is similar to what we're going to talk about here, which is lipolysis via nitric oxide. So we're going to give you a little science and we're going to help you understand how powerful this product is, as TriMatrix MD helps people to actually have lipolysis via nitric oxide. So here's a little bit more science. According to scientific studies, the role of nitric oxide in lipolysis, where exogenous nitric oxide positively influences adaptogenesis, lipolysis, and insulin glucose uptakes in humans, all of which are related to age-related weight gain and risk of obesity. Extreme Healthy Lifestyles TriMatrix MD helps the body positively induce lipolysis by the natural production of nitric oxide, L-arginine-driven production of nitric oxide, according to our U.S. patent. Lipolysis, obesity, and metabolic syndrome. A first approach in battling obesity, weight gain, and metabolic syndrome consists in molecules stimulating lipolysis and oxidation of the released fatty acids to decrease fat stores. We asked Dr. Ann DeWeese Allen to please share her opinion of lipolysis. She's a board-certified doctor of naturopathy, clinical trials, and biomedical research. But most of all, she specializes in metabolic medicine, growth hormone, anti-aging, L-arginine, human sports performance, and food addictions. And she is the head of the Medical Advisory Board for Extreme Healthy Lifestyles. Dr. Allen, what are your thoughts on lipolysis?
Lipolysis is like the most fun thing ever, okay? Here's what lipolysis does. If you can get the body to instigate lipolysis, the people that you see that are skinny, right, and they can eat whatever they want, you know, and you just hate them because, like, I don't get it, okay? How can they eat whatever they want and they're skinny? There's a couple of things they have going, and it's mostly genetic. Number one, they don't have the FD obesity gene, and as you know, which affects 89 to 90% of the population. Yes, if you have the FD obesity gene, it shunts food right into the fat cells whether you like it or not. Okay, so the point of lipolysis is people that you see are thin, they have genetically fantastic thermogenesis, internal thermogenesis, right? And they have genetically incredible high GH levels, which is very, very thermogenic. And they have just genetic, okay, like an ectomorph body type, will have incredible lipolysis. So as we get older, guess what? Lipolysis drops down. Testosterone is a known thermogenic agent. And ladies, guess what? Estrogen is a thermogenic agent. So when you go through menopause, guess why you gain weight? Because you've lost estrogen. But here's the problem. If you're going through menopause and you've lost estrogen, to try to replace it with bioidentical, no patient that I ever talked to or client in our clinic doesn't hear the speech about do not do bioidentical hormones, because after menopause, if you try to unnaturally, even though they're called bioidentical hormones, they're not, to increase estrogen, to increase thermogenesis and lipolysis so you'll lose weight, isn't going to work. It's not going to work. Don't do it. And women who are going through menopause are passing against Mother Nature. We have to work with our anthropology and our species and how our body works, and with Mother Nature to say, okay, I want lipolysis. Well, guess what? Every single chemist that is working on weight loss right now, and a weight loss pill, is working on how to increase lipolysis. And they say, well, it's too impossible to do without severe side effects. Yeah, unless you do it naturally. Okay? So if we can naturally increase lipolysis in the human body, here's what it does. When you increase lipolysis in the body, okay, I'll give you a good example. What burns more fat? Sitting in front of a television watching your favorite movie, or Dr. Phil, I love Dr. Phil, or jogging around the block. Okay, Jeff, which burns more fat?
Jogging around the block.
No, wrong. Bad science, wrong. If you sit on the sofa and you ingest a drink or a beverage that increases lipolysis, it increases fat burning by 800% more than jogging around the block and you haven't moved. Now, the human body doesn't have to move to increase thermogenesis or lipolysis. Exercise, okay, jogging around the block will not burn anywhere near the amount of body fat, because remember, when you jog around the block or you jog, the body's going to first go through different fuel systems before it gets to body fat. Before it gets to body fat, it's going through 3 or 4 other different fuel systems that you have available. And the last one is body fat. When you increase lipolysis or thermogenesis, that goes for the fat cells, number 1. Burning of the contents of the fat cell is number 1, and increasing the way the fat cells act. So if you can take a fat cell and make them like it's on steroids, like, whoa, okay, going crazy, okay, and increase lipolysis, that thermogenesis is more effective than jogging around the block, because you're going straight for the fat cell fuel and not for the other fuels that your body will preferentially pick first. Now, if the brain doesn't have any brain fuel, which is a natural carbohydrate, which you will find in all of our products and every single one of our products, which is why we work so closely with Major League Baseball, is to create sports drinks and other drinks, such as the Trimatrix MD, which is the only legal growth hormone product on the market, by the way, legal, non-pharmaceutical growth hormone and L-arginine on the market, which I received a federal patent for, by the way. And I spoke at the Arnold Schwarzenegger Classic every year on legal growth hormone. Now, Jeff Kershell will only use Trimatrix MD on Major League Baseball clients, because otherwise they're going to test positive for drugs. So when we say we put all natural carbohydrates in there and Intel inside, it's to stimulate your body to produce lipolysis. So if people want to be thin, whether they have a lot of exercise or not, you have to increase internal thermogenesis and you have to increase lipolysis. And those are the 2 things that I go for.
Dr. Ellen, thank you so much for that great explanation on lipolysis and how your DNA is not your destiny. Your number 1 defense against aging is Trimatrix MD. It supports reduced cellular damage to the body, downregulates fat storage triggers, supports natural fat-burning processes, helps your body battle obesity and weight gain. It's a defense against free radical damage, supports recovery time, is a refreshing raspberry flavor, and is low glycemic, and helps you with energy, performance, and endurance. Please be sure to check out some of our other amazing products that we have, and especially our low glycemic sweet infused sweetener that is 100% all natural. Both our SkinnyGenex Java and our SkinnyGenex Pineapple Splash and Peach Mango are incredible to help you on your journey. And also check out our 90-day challenge and the prizes that you can win to help you to reach your goals. Thanks so much for listening.